So thanks for sharing your experience about the crisis management. Now let's a bit change the topic, because this podcast is don't be silent, be lean. I'm the operational excellent and lean consultant. So let's get about what does lean mean for you. I don't mean just the methodology, but generally, I take it more as a mindset thing. So within your experience, what lean does mean for you?
Basically, we are basically fixing everything, and we are trying to do it as fast as possible, which means that first thing, if you will be talking about the lean, I don't know how you have it, but for me it's time. It's always saving time for me. So because this is the fastest approach which I can choose to save time with everything, communication, with let's say sharing the data, which is anyway communication, but only different way. So it's not spoken; it's like almost always written. So I don't know what's your experience, but I think that the most important is the time.
Yeah, for me, it's more that instead of 100 different, methodologies, it's more the mindset stuff. Yeah. So it means you would like to improve the things step by step. And I think, and frankly speaking, for me, if the company would be lean enough, they wouldn't need you, because
That's for
you
sure.
should not get to the crisis. Yeah. So if the lean company, if you have the lean company, then definitely you would be without the job. Yeah. But luckily for you, a lot of companies are not lean enough, so you have still, I think, a lot of to do.
And this is interesting, because in these times, especially from COVID, you will be expecting that all companies will be focusing on the topic, to save as much as possible, because they know how complicated it was to somehow lean their productions. But uh, at some cases, or at most of cases, it meant to them only to fire people. Yeah. So, and this was their, let's say, idea about the lean. Yeah, they were like
Which is
saving money on the easiest way.
yeah.
But the strong companies, they are really focusing how to save money in the most expensive things, which is the technology, how to make it more efficient, how to make it, let's say, better. Yeah, all the processes linked to that to make better. You will be expecting that this will go fast forward after this experience, but somehow I have a lot of work. Yeah, I have enough to do
Yeah, which is good for you. Which is good for you.
for our business, definitely.
Let me now touch another topic, which is quite obvious. We hear about that a lot of. How about the digitalization? How about the big data? How about the AI? How about the automatization? How do you see it? Does it progressing? Does it progress enough, fast enough, or you still see that it's not enough?
It's definitely not enough. That's that's clear. Yeah, that's the only reply I can give you. So, but AI, it's not at all used how it should be used, because we are a little bit, let's say, testing AI for the reporting, for example, within our company right now. So, and me personally, I'm trying to play with that a little bit, because it's quite fresh, new for me. But at companies, I don't see it at all, anyhow. But what I would like to say, that what I'm glad to see, and this was first time that one company which I audited like 2 weeks ago, they had the best, brilliant tool I ever seen for the production planning, and this was unbelievable. This was wow effect like hell, because I was really looking at that tool which they develop on their own together with some technology company, who is like right now, let's say, they are still tuning that on the example of that company, but that technology company want to sell it as a product. But there's let's say competition like SAP or the other big giants who are like for example VMS or these big players. It's difficult to say, but this tour is dedicated to plan everything, including the changes, including I mean technical changes. Yeah, and this, yeah, we can talk a little bit later about it because this will be for one podcast only. Yeah, so but this was really well done, and this was first time when I was really sitting, sorry to say, sitting on my ass and wondering that there is something like that existing, because to take into consideration all the aspects, all the potential influences, it's not a really easy job to have it in one package, and they did it, and they did brilliant. This was like about the automation also in the how to say administration, yeah. And this was first time when I saw that they really invest a lot into that and develop own tool.
This is
This
what
is
I
how I see it now, eh?
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that, because with it's, I think, the proper mindset. They realize that the crisis,
Mhm.
and normally we are now still in the crisis because of COVID, and after there was missing the components, and now high energy costs and all of that. So I can say we are still, the last 3-4 years are living in the crisis. And for me, is when the company, they use it and they improve. This is the best time to do it in the
Yeah,
crisis,
yeah,
because
sure.
you don't
And
differentiate, compared to the competitors. Yeah, and which is great. Let me ask you about your job. And what do you like the most about what you're doing, and if there is something what annoys you, what you dislike about your job.
yeah, it's funny how comes the dislike immediately that you know what you want to talk about. Yeah, so like is more, let's say, if you're thinking about what you love on your job, if you have the job like me, it's not that easy to answer. But what I dislike, I absolutely know, and this is, yeah, I hate paperwork. Hate the reports. Yeah, that's for sure. That's why I'm always late with them, but not that much late for sure because I cannot. But it's always to push myself to do some stuff in regards to reporting, in regards to the paperworks. It let's say it cost me a lot of energy to just push me to do that, and at the end it's like 10-minute job, yeah, but I'm pushing myself very hard, like 2 hours to even sit in front of that and do it. This is about what I don't like, yeah, what I dislike. But what about life on my job? It's probably the potential itself, the potential which, uh, let's say, which I identify to help the suppliers, and and there is like a huge connection or very very close connection between what I like and what I love, because this is what I see that is like uh, biggest influence, and I like to be influencing this. But what I love is the feedback, the positive feedback.
Mhm,
Negative feedback you have to be able to receive, you have to
mhm,
work on that. And if it is, yeah, this is like cliche that if it is constructive, then it's good. No, all negative feedbacks, you have to at least 2 seconds think about them, because you have to find out if there is not something which you also identify by your own. That is a problem. If somebody is giving to you that feedback and you already know about it, yeah, it's really time to do something. But the positive feedback, and sometimes after years, that okay, yeah, we set it up, you helped us to understand, for example, the specific requirements, and we did it this way, we want to show you, and they invite me only for coffee. For example, I'm passing in Poland, I'm driving on the highway, I receiving call, and when you will be passing us in Poland, and I said, hey, come on, I'm like 80 kilometers from you. Okay, let's come stop for coffee, we want to show you something because we are very proud that we did it, and you helped with that. And then you sometimes receive a bottle of the wine because they really appreciate what you did for them, and even you were the spy at the beginning because they thought about you this way. But at the end of the day, when this feedback came and you see how they fix it, how they solve it, you are very proud of them, and of course it's very nice to hear it. Yeah, this is what I love in my job.
Yeah, that's cool, and thanks for that. But by the way, you mentioned, and I suppose you are commuting a lot. How many kilometers do you drive per year?
Something similar like you, I guess. So yeah, depends of the year, but there were years, especially after COVID. Before COVID, we were flying a lot. Yeah, but after COVID or during COVID, we were driving, and in these, yeah, I can tell you, you know that I'm a fan of Volvo cars. In the past, I had a Volvo. It was very, very, very good car, and on that Volvo, I bought it. I had it like a year and 4 months, and I bought it with 6,000 kilometers, pretty new on the let's say speedometer, and so then I sell it after 1 year and 4 months with 150,000 on it.
Wow.
So this was the biggest year for me, but usually like 90,000 kilometers I'm driving plus flying.
Yeah, wow, that's a lot. That's very interesting.
It
Tell
was.
me now as well, coming back to your experience here, what is the project that you are the most proud of? And on the opposite, you know what I'm going to ask. It's about the fuck up,
Yeah, I know.
because life is about the both sides. Yeah.
Uh, you know, it can be. It's probably strange, but it can be one project. Uh, this was, and I can say it right now because the company doesn't exist at all anymore. It was that I was responsible for big bottleneck management in Šroubárna in Turnov in the, let's say, this is like central north of Czech Republic, and we managed that really well. We were able to distribute to 14 different locations of VW Group, including the Lamborghini, Seat, Škoda, Audi, different locations of Audi, different locations of Volkswagen, CKD, spare parts, and so on and so on. And we didn't stop any of the production lines. We were not creating incomplete cars, nothing. We did it best way as possible. It was, especially at the beginning, it was tough job. It cost a lot of money, but there was great team. Without them, it will not be ever possible. Yeah, there was great team in that company. Why I'm not the same way how I let's say appreciate that experience and to cooperate with that team. I also hate the fact that I was not able to save that company, and with, let's say, several people, we were the last ones in the company. So this was the traditional Czech company with long years, let's say, history. It was like almost 80 years or something like that, which is huge. Yeah. And there were when I came, there were like 250 remaining employees. Originally it was like almost 500, and or at least 350 stable. And at the end of the day, when I was leaving, there were like 6 people. So
Wow.
and this was very sad, and I have to say that a lot of people from that company touched my heart, and it was my pleasure to work with them. And it was a really beloved experience from the, let's say, these persons point of view, because they were great persons. So, and some of them we are still calling to each other sometimes, but it was very, very difficult. And it was only I have in my experience from the past only 2 companies which were
Incredible.
let's say, I was not able to save them.
Wow, what a great story. By the way, thanks for touching that. A few days ago, I wrote an article about that my first offer for the new job as a CA consultant was to close this plant.
Mm.
And I deny it, yeah. And I deny it. I was asked from the owners to, and then they were calling me and they said, "Hey guys, hey Ivan, can you please save us?" And in 1 month after, they say, "Hey Ivan, it's not about the saving; it's about really to close it down." And I said, "Hey guys, this is not what I want to do." And luckily or not luckily, it's unbelievable how the world is small. That I'm now speaking to you, and you were the guy to having this experience, and it's really difficult, and I fully get it. Yeah. So the world
Yeah,
is small.
so luckily I was not hired by the owners. I was representing customers in their plant to keep it running as long as possible. Yeah, my target was opposite. My target was to, if possible, to save as much as possible. But then when we came to the stage where we see that it's obvious that it's not possible to save it, even with increasing of the prices significantly and so on, then I was only responsible to keep it running until we will be able to qualify the alternatives.
Yeah. Said sorry and thanks for sharing, because that's always I got this experience one closing the Belgium plant, and definitely the emotions and all the atmosphere, because you are working with the people and you like them, because that's normal, and it's very sad that in the end that these people will be dismissed there. So yeah, not the best scenario. We are really coming close till the end. I would like to ask you now about one of the maybe the book or the movie, or some podcast which you like. If there is something you could recommend to the audience.
So for sure, I can recommend Rehaki. Yeah, definitely, because yeah, come on, we met on one project. We can say it, yeah, to everybody. We met on the Scania project, and we had a great time there to let's say know each other and so on. That's why probably I'm here invited, and thank you for that. Thank you so much. But yeah, for sure, I'm recommending your experience to listen. That's for sure. So movie, it will be different. Yeah, great movie from my point of view. Very good one is the uh, Constantine. So and there is a lot of behind the scenes which I like on the movie, and I'm still hoping that there will come the Constantine 2. But it's a lot of said about it. So from 2009, I'm listening that it will be, but it's not. So this is it. This is about the movie and about the podcast. I'm now watching and listening a lot of investment podcasts. Yeah. So, and I think that is right time for me to start to think about it more wider, because I have a very young son and I would like to prepare for him, and I need to study more about let's say personal financing, that I can give him this knowledge as a gift, and I can give him also some startup package, let's call it like that, yeah, to the new life. But from the YouTubers, which is like very popular right now, I'm following Trent and Ellie, and these are two YouTubers which start at the beginning as van lifers, and right now they are constructing their let's say house and so on. I'm about the construction because I was also constructing by myself our house, and that's why I like to watch them.
Thanks for that. And now the last question which comes is, what advice would you give to young people who would like to work in your field?
First, invest money. Make savings and invest. Yeah, invest to shares. This will be the first which I will tell you. And yeah, it's nice that you are asking about it, because I had a let's say similar question from let's say 11-year-old guy who is the neighbor's son, and yeah, he was asking about investments. So it was wonderful to listen that from somebody in his age. But for what to how to help them to reach let's say knowledge, reach our business, to be effective as much as possible. Study. Go for practice. Try to search for the how to say, some free. How to say it, if you're going somewhere? Yeah, I absolutely lost the English word for that. If you're going somewhere for free and you just participating in the teams. I know that Škoda has the academy like that, but I don't remember the name for it. So basically,
like you mean like the exchange programs or
something like that. But if you're going to the company just to gain the experience, yeah. So during your studies, try to find out what is your let's say, not how you profiling, but what is your targeted way, what you want from your life. If you have to understand if you want to commute or not, if you want to travel for business or not. This is mandatory, and based on that, try to find out the company, doesn't matter in which business, where you can at least to smell a little bit what's the job about, because then you will not be wasting time to study or to concentrate to some topic which will not make you happy in your personal life. Because if you are not happy in your personal life, then you cannot be successful at your on your working level, yeah, at your job. First, you have to be absolutely comfortable with what you are doing, and it's not for everybody. And the crisis management is definitely not for everybody. And I know several colleagues who were very good specialists, very good quality, very good process engineers who want to do this job, and after, let's say, a few weeks or after a few months, they give up because it's not for everybody.
yeah.
If you want to go solve the crisis, first try. If you want to try it, and try it again.
And thanks for that. Thanks for this, because I think it's very important. So this was Jiří Bodlák, who is the crisis manager, owner of the JP Engineering. So thanks a lot, Jirka. Thanks a lot for joining. So this was the podcast
Thank you
Efficiency Now. Don't be silent, be lean.